Okay, we're on. Hey guys, Jenn Dies here with Status Coup. We have been in LA for the past few days. Right now we are in Beverly Hills, and there is a counter protest to the ongoing Trump rallies that have been happening here in Beverly Hills weekly, according to Tina, who has been here, or who we are staying with and who we've been with for a while. She's been covering this bravely and heroically on the streets week after week. So, sorry, you're fine. Hey everyone, I see lots of people joining. I'll wait a little bit. Smash the like button. Share this stream. Again, we are in Beverly Hills. Hey guys, smash the like button, share this stream. Again, we are in Beverly Hills, where there's a counter protest to the ongoing Trump protest here in LA, or in Beverly Hills, excuse me. We've been staying in LA with Tina Desiree Berg, who you guys all know and love. Make sure you guys can hear me and see me. So Nina asked if there's a Trump rally. So Trump people have been gathering weekly, according to Tina. So right now, the counter protesters are gathering to march over to that area. As we were coming in, we walked past several police officers who made a point to say hello to us and to wish us well. We'll remember that when they're shooting us with pepper bullets later, for sure. Keep sharing the stream. Hey everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like button. We don't really know how today's going to go. We have no idea what's going to happen. There is supposedly a Trump group. There are counter protesters. There are cops ready to go. So who knows how the day will play out. If you guys have been following our reporting throughout the week, you'll know that Tina, up and down, all over her body, she has bruises from police shooting rubber bullets, pepper bullets at her. So you never know how these days will go, how these nights will go. It can turn in an instant. About 123 people watching. Please smash the like button, share this stream again. I love all the well wishes. Right now, it seems like we're kind of in a holding pattern here, where we have these counter protesters who are going to march down to the Trump area. At least that's what we've been told. You never really know with activist events, but that seems to be what's happening right now. And I completely understand. You know, these events are planned last minute. They're often short on the details, and that's for their safety. That's for a very specific reason. Yeah, Kimberly, Tina's bruises all over her body. It's really, really horrible. And remember, guys, as you're watching the stream, please keep the super chats coming. That helps us stay in the field reporting. John is behind the camera. He's been doing wonderful, wonderful work. And actually, yesterday, if you missed my interview with a woman whose animal sanctuary has been devastated by the wildfires here in California, please check that out. John right now is editing a video that we shot combined with that interview, as well as the shots of her home. We went to her home, or her former home, her former animal sanctuary, and it was like a dystopian funeral. It was really, really sad and devastating, just what is happening due to climate change and due to the negligence of the local electrical company. So definitely check that out. Keep smashing the like button. I see that Jordan has gotten the tweet notification out. If you haven't signed up for our tweet notification, or excuse me, our text notifications, that's text notification. Text COUP to 370-370. No, if I'm looking at my phone, I'm simply looking at the feed. I'm looking at all you guys to make sure everything's good, to make sure you can hear me and see me. I see a lot of messages telling us to be safe. We absolutely will. But we're going to report on whatever needs to be reported on. Whatever happens today, we're going to be there. We're going to follow this story very closely. This is one of several cities that we've reported from with the ongoing protests. We have some more people joining. Again, right now we're kind of in a holding pattern. There were some speakers. You can hear people calling out to the bike cops that seem to be coming down the pathway here. Again, we passed several cops on our way up to this location. And more are coming up this way now. They were down on the other side of the park. Some on bikes, some on foot. They were very cordial to us. They were wishing us well, wishing us a good day. We'll see if that holds throughout the day. I'm sure it won't. Smash the like button, share this stream. John is on Twitter. He's at John Farina Photo. John Farina Photo, John with no H. What?
Get the sound. What they're talking about.
All right, so going over here to...
Is there anyone here who can maybe tell us who an organizer may be? So
Is there something I can relate to let them know you want to talk to them?
That would be perfect.
Yeah, what is it you want to talk to them about?
About the plans for the rally today, see if we can help out in any way, keep everybody safe.
Yeah, I'll figure it out maybe.
Thank you, that'd be awesome.
All right, so things are being figured out here. You heard the cops asking who's organized the rally, so we're waiting.
Have any questions about today or anything we can help you out with?
Who's your commanding officer?
For the day.
The actual commanding officer for the day, I believe, is Captain Dowling. Captain Dowling.
What was that?
Captain Dowling.
How do you spell that?
D-O-W-L-I-N-G. Dowling. I see you right now, my 5 digits. I'm Sergeant Fair. F-A-I-R.
Sergeant Drummond, D-R-U-M-M-O-N-D.
Hi, guys. Are you one of the organizers?
I'm not, but we don't need your help.
Okay, well, I mean, if there was an actual organizer that could tell us that would be great.
I'm an organizer, yeah, sure. I'm an
Okay, perfect.
organizer. I don't
I'm
need
Sergeant
your help.
Fair.
Huh?
I'm Sergeant Fair. That's my name. I work for the Beverly Hills Police Department.
Okay.
What we do before any rally, demonstration, protest, whatever we're doing today, we try to go out, we make contact,
Okay.
and we see if there's going to be a march. Because if there is, we'd love to try to block traffic and make sure nobody gets hit by a car.
So you want to do your job is what I'm hearing?
I mean, you let that guy go the other day. We ran someone.
Yeah,
over.
somebody got their
Well,
skull
do
fractured.
me a favor. She just asked me if I would like to do my job for the day, and I would like to talk to her about that. Yes, we would love to do our job for the day.
Okay.
So if there's any information you can give me to assist in us doing our job and help keep your demonstration or protest or rally safe.
No, there isn't. I don't fuck with the police.
I saw her get hit by the car.
Is there anybody who's actually an organizer here? You
I
said?
am an organizer, and I'm telling you we don't need your
What?
help. We got
How long have you been a problem?
Okay, will you guys stay here or will you be leaving?
That's TBD, sir. TBD.
Okay, if you guys do decide to leave, can I give you a phone number to call and maybe let us know
You
you're
can
out?
give me a number, but I'm not going to call you.
Okay, is there anyone here who would
No.
like assistance?
No.
Do you understand what I'm offering?
I do. We don't need
So
it.
if we don't say that, what happens if... the
I'm
trust-
talking to her because she's
Well, I'm
identified
an
herself as an
organizer
organizer.
too,
You're an
so
organizer?
We're all a part of this together.
It's a Spartacus type situation, officer.
But you're asking us if we need assistance. But later, if they attack, are you saying if we don't tell you we need assistance, you will not help us later?
I'm completely not saying that. Please do me a favor as we communicate. Don't put words in my mouth and I won't put words
No,
in your
I'm
mouth.
just asking a question.
Here's what I am doing, and this is the only fact that's happened so far. I'm offering support to keep you guys safe. And I will continue to do that throughout the day. What we would love for you to do is have the opportunity to have a peaceful protest. I don't know what your message is. I've seen a couple of signs, and your message is absolutely fine to go ahead and put it out there. Here's your right. Your right is to peacefully assemble, right? Lawful protest, all good.
All right, y'all, let's...
So if you guys do that, you're 100% okay. Now, if you're gonna march, we would love to know your route, all right? That's
okay, y'all. We don't
what
need
I'm
to talk
offering
to
is
them anymore.
a service of support for your route to keep you guys safe.
I mean, if we don't need your support at the moment, all right. Thank you for asking us.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's just that we don't need the support. We already have what we need to do.
I totally
We're all
appreciate that.
gonna do
Would anyone like the non-emergency phone number so that if at some point you decide you need the support, you can just call? Because we're going to be around. We have multiple protests in the city today, and we're doing the same thing with all of them.
We all told each other already about this.
Okay.
So we already know where we're gonna be walking at.
Okay.
And
So you know you're going to be
amongst
walking.
each other, yes.
Okay.
And we already have everything settled with.
Do you amongst each other know your route?
Yes.
Yes.
Would anyone
Yes.
be comfortable providing it to us? There's only one purpose for providing your route, and it's so that when we know your route, we're assuming a large group like this cannot successfully make every signal safe. We're assuming that. If we're able to get there and potentially stop traffic, if it even saves one person from getting hit by a car, that means the world to us, and we would love to do it. We've seen at protests people hit by cars. We don't want to see that today. We don't want to see that. So if you guys will empower us to help keep you safe, just as we do with every protest that comes here, we would like to have that opportunity. If you refuse, then I really can't give that. What I can tell you, if you refuse to give us your route, we will do our best to be in the area, all right? We'll do our best to follow, and if we see you in an unsafe situation, we may pull up with our PAs, you know, that's the public address system, and we may tell you over the PA, hey, please move this side, that side, whatever's the safe advice. We may also put on our lights and sirens to let other cars in the area know of your travel. If we had your route, we could do it a lot better for you. Here's the thing. We've all had conversations recently where people told us that they want the opportunity to talk to police, right? I'm feeling like, even though I can't see your face, you can't see mine that much either, COVID and all that stuff, I'm feeling like we're having some good communication here. I'm asking you for the opportunity to allow us to do our job for you, and I'm hoping that at the end of the day, when your protest or your demonstration or your rally is done, I'm hoping at the end of the day it's super peaceful between every group in our city, and you guys go home happy that you got your message across, and my group goes home happy that there was zero issues with everyone today, and everyone was safe, nobody got hit by cars, right? That PA is not going to help positive communication right now. Thank you.
May I ask you a question, officer?
Well, let me ask you, because he and I, as himself, telling me he's an organizer and he's looking at me while we're talking, before being interrupted with our conversation, would you like to ask me anything or tell me anything?
We're not.
See, things like that are not going to help, and I'm going to try to help. So would you like to ask or provide any information?
You see right here, everybody here, if they have an issue with giving the route, then we all as a collective
We're a
group.
community. We all.
I understand, but here's the thing. Someone who's in a leadership position at some point can step up and see that there's barriers we all need to cross. Us as the police, we realize that, and that's me today. I'm the guy who walked up to you guys to try to deliver a message and converse successfully. So even though some people may not agree with that with your group or my group, I did that. And so I'm asking for somebody else to do that and step up today to communicate.
The closest thing I could give you right now is the best thing you could do is just follow us. We're going to try making this protest as good as we can, try making it as peaceful as we can,
Okay.
depending on how they also react as well. You can follow us, do what you said. You can follow us
Here's
around.
what I'm going to say right now, very loudly so everyone who can hear me that's close enough to hear. You guys all seem extremely peaceful right now, and I love this dialogue. I do. I like it when people don't talk over each other, because I'm only one person right now, right? And I can talk to one person at a time. And I think, sir, you were next. If you guys are okay.
Right now?
What's that?
Did you say you're one person right now?
I am personally one person speaking with you.
Wow. One person with
Okay, let's do this, sir. Let's not take positive dialogue and try to ruin it with creating your own narrative. Thank you.
I mean, it is kind of intimidating when you have 6 other people watching us like we're doing.
Let me ask you this, and this is just to be fair. By the way, that's my last name, but just to be fair, would you feel comfortable walking up, knowing the heat and the tension between groups and police right now, putting yourself out there, trying to create a peaceful situation, and walking up without anyone watching your back? If the answer is yes, then you're awesome. I hope that's the honest truth.
I have integrity.
Hold on.
You guys don't.
I personally might not, but at the same time, you chose your job as a police officer, and if you feel afraid without having 6 people behind you, maybe you shouldn't be a police officer. You should feel safe to do your job without 6 other
we're
people
getting off
antagonizing the
topic,
situation.
and this isn't really going anywhere. You had a question?
Yeah,
I only want to answer questions that actually have purpose.
So you keep talking about guaranteeing our safety, but the last
Ma'am,
time
real quick before I cut you off, I'm going to say this. My name is Sergeant Fire. I work for the Beverly Hills Police Department. Any day that I'm working, you can come down and talk to me one-on-one, and we can talk for an hour if you want. Today, you guys have an agenda, probably a timeline, and I don't think having unnecessary, unconstructive dialogue is going to help.
I have
So
very
go ahead.
constructive dialogue, Sergeant Fair. You said you said you're here for our community, right?
I'm
Remember
here-
when I called you and you
technically,
hung up on me
technically I'm here.
when I was asking about my own assault?
I'm not sure. What's your
You
name?
don't remember? My name is Sean Dr. Carmichael.
See, here's the thing. Sometimes we talk to 100 people a day.
Right.
Did I talk to you personally?
Yes, you did.
At the watch commander's desk?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You talked to me on the phone and then you
So
hung up.
do me a favor. Call back. Or come back in.
Fucking guy.
Come
All
back
right.
in. What else can I say?
You could apologize. You could perhaps
So
drop
here's the thing.
charges. You
I
could
don't
perhaps
remember.
actually
I don't
guarantee our
remember our
safety.
conversation. Here's what I can say. I'm sorry if some of my actions affected you in a negative way. That's all I can say.
All right. We're done.
Thank you.
Bye.
I have
Anybody
another
else?
question. Why? I'm just wondering, like, why are you so interested in helping us when you could just go protect us from the people hurting? Like, we don't need you guys following us to protect us. You should just face the people who are constantly causing the problem
You're
over here.
assuming what you need and what you don't, but what I don't want to see is I don't want to see something you don't expect affect you in a negative way.
Well, we expect that they're going to get violent with us because they always get violent with us.
Who's they?
The Trump supporters that are always there
Okay,
at the
so
rally.
here's what I know.
And
There
you
are
guys
Trump
always
supporters right now
protecting
on
them
that
from
side of the
us, like we're
city.
doing something
There are
wrong.
Trump supporters on that side of the city.
Right.
And then you guys, no one has even told me what your cause is today. Without yelling, would anyone like to tell me?
Regardless, my point is that like
So that's
seeing
a
how
no?
how violent they are every time there is a rally or whatever, instead of coming up to us and saying how can we protect you, just look at what's been happening every week in the past and why you guys are standing blocking them from us. Why don't you turn around and face the
So let
people
me
who are
say this,
hurting
with
us?
the violence committed against you, I've been here a couple times, but not all times, and I haven't witnessed it. I am here today. So what I can tell you is today, my group of people, some of them here and some of them there, will be here to protect everyone's right to peacefully protest equally. So if everyone, what do they do at protests? They hold signs, right? You yell things, you get your message
You don't put
across.
your hands on people and bear mace them.
I
And
would
when they
prefer-
do that, we are still the
I
ones
would
hurt
prefer
by you
no.
guys and them. Not only do you guys let them hurt us, but you
Let's
continue to hurt us
add
further
to-
after you arrest us for them hurting us. That's why an organizer
There's a
doesn't
lot
want to talk
of
to
you
you guys
guys
about your
and them
help.
here. What I'm doing here
They'd
is
never help us.
what I'm doing here is I'm starting with today and saying how something can be different today.
Okay, when
So
you
generally,
see them hurt us, get them instead of us. That's
generally
how you
when
help
I
us.
hear people protesting, they're asking for change. You have someone from the police department here currently offering open dialogue for change. So if you really stand behind whatever it is you're protesting, which you're not telling me yet, but if you really stand behind that message and it's anything anti-police, anything at all anti-police, you have a police officer here right now willing to speak with you. If you're not willing to speak, you're not even willing to tell me your cause, and you don't want our bit of protection that we can at least try to offer.
Open other cause. What are you talking about the cause?
I don't know your cause. I don't know.
Our cause is to abolish you, so why do we want to talk to you?
Okay, then find a constructive way to do that. How can you do that? You said it. How can you do it? I'm asking you. Educate me.
How can we abolish the police?
Yes, please educate
And
me.
we can find ways that can replace you. There's so many things that you guys do that you don't need to do. Being a police officer is a reactive job. All you guys can do is react to things. You don't stop crime before they happen. All you do is react to things and you profile people. Why do we need that in our communities? Why?
But I'm going to agree with you. Can I agree with you?
Yes, you can agree with me.
Here's my agreement. We do a lot of things that there are technically professionals out there that might be able to do differently or better. And if we could somehow get the support, I don't think it's a matter of abolishing, but I'm not going to argue that. I'm going to agree with you. There are a lot of things that we do. We wear too many hats, right? And if they're professionals that can come and help, then do yourself a favor and do society a favor and do me a favor. Bring those ideas constructively and help us get there.
Every time we try and do constructive things.
When I say constructive, I just mean like we're doing right now. Now, holding signs, yelling, getting attention, that's 100% constructive in my opinion. I am all for your right to peacefully protest. But if there's any sort of vandalisms that occurred, I'm not accusing your group of anything because I don't even know who your group is right now. I have no idea who you guys are. If anyone would like to educate me on that, feel free. But what I'm going to say is this. We already know there's going to be people walking in the street at some point because there's no way to move a group this size without walking the street a little bit. I would ask you to do your best to not take up too much of the street. I'm sorry I touched your microphone. But do your best and then know that we will be there. If you provide us with your route, we could be there a little better. We're still going to do our best. All right? And then when you get to wherever your point is to be constructive, be vocal, pass your message along. Please do not vandalize anything on the way. Not saying your group would do that, but we've seen it done. And once the law starts getting broke, the police have to step in because that's our job and that's why the community pays us. And I'm not going any further to say anything about violence, and I know everybody wants to get me to argue that. I'm not here to argue that. What I will say is this. If some member of your group violates law and they vandalize something, I personally would love to see every member of your group that does not agree with that vandalism, that breaking of the law, step up and regulate that themselves and remove that person from the problem and continue your peaceful march or your peaceful demonstration. If that's a picture-perfect world in my book, and I've communicated with you my picture-perfect world.
Okay. So right now, well, our eyes are right now seeing is us because we know all about the traffic and how it works and how things can get very unsafe and the reason.
Okay.
My finishing to this conversation is the fact that we always see you guys in the front line shooting us, so we want you guys in the back for today. We don't want you guys to lead. We will lead and we will go around the route.
Fair enough.
We go around,
Okay,
all right?
fair enough.
We will do it as peacefully as possible. As long as you control your side, we'll be able to control our side
We
as
don't have
well.
a side to control.
That's
What?
your followers then.
What's that?
Your followers then.
What do you mean? You mean
People on the other side over there.
Oh, you mean like the police?
Not just the police, but the supporters over there.
Oh, the Trump rally
Yeah,
group?
them too.
Okay. Well, here's what I would like to see. The Trump rally group is getting the same speech today. It's not given by me.
Okay.
But they, as well as you guys know, you have a legal right to assemble. Peaceful protest. You all have that legal right. And they're getting the same speech. If they step beyond those boundaries, a lawful dispersal order will be given. If they remain beyond that, as many of them that remain that we can possibly arrest, we will. And we give that same message to everyone, because what do we want to see, guys? And I'll say it loud and proud. A peaceful demonstration. Get your point across, please. And if this can be the day that us speaking like this made any kind of change, and the more people that walk up, the better, because I want them all to hear this message, replay it with whatever you're recording on. The more people that hear this message, they see, look, you, where'd the other gentleman go? You walked away, but you've been here for a few minutes. Anyone who stood here long enough, you, sir, you brought up a good point too. The people who have actually spoken today, you guys had positive dialogue with the police. There's been no violence during this time. You have not broken one law while I've been here. I haven't enforced one law. We've just spoken.
We want to continue that throughout this
So do I.
march.
And I wish I knew your name, and I wish I knew what your position was here, and I'd invite you at any time. I'd tell you my schedule at work and tell you to come talk to me. Here's my open invite. Sergeant Fair. I may have my digits here, but I don't hide behind that. I give you my name. I'm the only Sergeant Fair at Beverly Hills PD. I don't know your name. You can provide it if you like, or you can just come to my department at any point and ask to talk to me. I'm always down to talk. I would much rather talk before, during, and after a protest than see it go bad between us and the group of protesters, or between two groups of protesters. That's the last thing we want to see. In my picture perfect world, you guys can show up and have your protest. Another side and another side can do the same thing, and the police aren't even needed. But unfortunately, the way things have happened in the past, we are needed because bad things happen. And I'm not going to say which side, because it doesn't matter. We'll arrest people from either side today if they step beyond the law. And we hope that just doesn't happen. I'm hoping everyone here feels the same way. You're all here for a reason. You want to protest. I see gas masks. That's cool. Have your gas mask. I have no problem with that. Here's one thing I hope. I hope that gentleman with the gas mask doesn't need it today. I really hope he doesn't.
I hope so too.
You notice I'm not wearing my gas mask right now? And you notice I don't have my helmet on right now? I'm going to be honest with you. It's freaking hot today. I hope that your actions and the actions of the other protesters, I'll even throw it out there, and the actions of my officers all dictate that that gear doesn't have to go on today. Like I said, I'm hot. And if I don't have to put that gear on, and you guys don't have to put your masks on, you'll be a little more comfortable today. And remember, when you put the masks on, it's much harder to hear people, so you can't get your point across as good. Just like when I try to communicate with my guys when our masks are on, it's very difficult to hear. So everybody stay peaceful. I know those people over here can't hear that. They're probably interested, or maybe they're watching the live stream, I don't know. But since you're the organizer who's chosen to talk to me for the longest, if you could do me the pleasure of passing this information along. And it's the fact that we spoke, we got no issues, right? You and I have no issues personally right now. I wear a uniform,
Okay.
right?
I thank you. I don't mean to interrupt you. I thank you so much. But
You're
we
awesome,
do
and
have to,
you have the same invite, sir. I don't know your name, but I'm Sergeant Fair.
we have to get it going. So
Okay,
thank you so
guys,
much.
the
Have a
phone
good one.
number for the non-emergency is 310-550-4951. It's not a phone tree. They answer live. If you need assistance, please call us. If it's an emergency, call 911. Cool?
Okay, so right there you heard the police of Beverly Hills giving quite a show.
Bullshit.
Do you want to say what you would think about
I
it?
can say what I think about that. As someone who, participated in the Democratic primary once, I know a thing or two about freaking performance tactics, and I know a thing about, putting shit on for the show. That's fucking bullshit. Because you know what? They did the same damn thing when we had a fucking dance in the middle of West Hollywood. One of their sheriffs came up to us, was talking to us, saying, oh, this is just an open dialogue. I want everything to be peaceful, while they showed up to a dance event in riot gear. And with, their assault rifles and their AKs and their rubber bullets and their stinger grenades. One of their cops was fiddling with a stinger grenade at their barrier while we were dancing. That shit is performative. Follow it through with action. I don't care. Quit your job. Tell your buddies not to fucking tear gas us. Sean called it out on his stream. He was assaulted by the police, and he tried to get some closure from Sergeant Fair right there, and nothing fucking happened.
Tell the people what happened to Sean and what his channel is.
Yeah. Sean, you can follow him on Instagram. He's right here if you want to talk to him as well. His Instagram is a cat with news. He was assaulted very badly by the police during one of their raids of the Black Unity Cap downtown. And essentially what happened was he was hospitalized by the police, and when he did his complaint against them, Sergeant Fair was one of the people he called, and nothing happened. So That's my 2 cents on that.
Have the police kind of changed their tactics? Like, that was a very long, involved speech. Are they trying to, like, woo you guys on to thinking they're okay? What are they doing?
That's definitely my guess. I mean, I know performance bullshit when I see it. That was it. They're just trying to woo us because they're not going to follow it through with action. They haven't actually done anything to make it better for us. They showed up here with their elite bike force, and I was surprised that it wasn't worse. I was surprised. So, hopefully it goes well. I don't trust them at all. The same way I don't trust the fucking FBI, the CIA, I don't trust the sheriff, don't trust the cops, because I don't trust the government, and I don't trust our intelligence communities, because that's where he's getting all his bullshit narratives from. The same intelligence agencies that are lying us into war right now, that have a vendetta against people like Julian Assange, they are spreading these narratives about the protesters, those FBI and CIA narratives right there. So I don't buy that bullshit for one bit. If you want to be performative, you can go fuck off. I got to protest now. Again, if you want to interview Sean, he's the one with the won't say for safety purposes.
Okay, sure.
But I think you know which one he is. I'll point him out.
Yeah,
got you.
Thank you. We might grab you later on too as well. Thanks for talking with us. Okay, thank you. All right, guys, you heard there from a very passionate protester. I actually spoke to her off camera in the restroom, and she's a status quo viewer who actually knows Tina, so she's very impassioned. She's great.
Lori's super awesome. She's a solid activist here in LA. I've seen her at lots of rallies. She is also involved in, sorry, it's hard to...
So you had a lot of cars going by this protest. As you heard, the police were trying to get out of protesters where the march is going to. Protesters, of course, didn't want to give that location away. But I think, from the way that this seems to go every weekend, they have a pretty sure bet of where it's headed.
Every city, every town! Turn the precinct to the ground!
Thanks for the super chats. Keep those coming.
Come on. Every city, every town!
Every town.
Burn the precinct to the ground! Every town! Stay right.
So the group is now crossing the street, and you can hear a police officer, I don't know if it was the same one that we were just speaking with, saying to be careful. They now are in their police vehicle with their lights on, chanting fuck 12.
Fuck 12, fuck 12! Fuck 12, fuck 12, fuck 12! Fuck 12, fuck 12, fuck 12! Stay tight! We do this every night! Stay together! Stay tight! We do this every night!
Again, if you're just joining us, we are in Beverly Hills at a protest. A counter-Trump protest. Smash the like button, share this stream, and keep those super chats coming.
All cops are bastards! 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 Fuck 12, fuck 12, fuck 12! 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 No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump!
It's definitely hot out here, guys. These protesters are here day after day, fighting against what they see as fascism, fighting for Black lives. So no one knows what's to come today. We're marching right now, presumably towards where Trump supporters are stationed. And right now, we are marching in Beverly Hills, and you can hear that the protesters are chanting.
Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they
If you're new here, please subscribe to this channel. We will have reporting like this very frequently. Ahead of us, there are a few bike cops. There are some cops blocking off streets on the side there, some bike cops ahead. Cops and vehicles even above them. Thank you so much for the super chat. The pink diode, ISK 1500. Keep those super chats coming. This is hard, but work, hard work, but work we're happy to do. Timothy McDermott, thank you so much for the amazing super chat. Appreciate it. Protesters now chanting, "Eat the rich."
Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat the rich! Eat
It's interesting walking through Beverly Hills because it's a wealthy area. The homes cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. In March. This is
every city, every town. Black lives, they matter here. 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 Black lives, they matter.
Let me know if the audio is okay. All right, hold on. 1 second, guys. Something with the audio now? Connection bad, audio choppy.
Maybe it's too far.
Okay. All right. Let me know, guys, if it's okay right now. Let me know if it's okay right now. It takes a minute to catch up to my voice.
Yeah, I think we gotta stay closer.
Yeah. Okay, it's good now. All right, sorry guys, I was a little bit too far away from John, so hopefully that will be better. You can hear them chanting "Eat the Rich" as we march through Beverly Hills, a very, very, very wealthy area. This is a very dedicated group. This isn't a group that gets out there and marches one time and goes back inside. This group marches week after week after week. Zakondo, this is Beverly Hills. We really appreciate the super chats. Keep those coming. It costs a lot to report in the field like this. Subscribe if you haven't already. Right now we are marching presumably to where Trump supporters are. This is a counter-protest. It'll be interesting to speak to any Trump supporters in light of what has happened to Donald Trump. As you guys all know, he's tested positive for COVID, is in the hospital right now. A lot of Trump supporters didn't even believe COVID was real. So it'll be fascinating to speak with them. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the support in our reporting fundraiser. Go to statusquo.com/West Coast to support this trip at any amount.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do don't get it, burn it down. If we don't get it, burn it down. Said if we don't get it, burn it down.
We're about to march to right past the Saks Fifth Avenue
Burn it down.
in Beverly Hills to give you an idea of the kind of area that we are marching through right now. Dimitri asked, where's Julia Roberts? That's a great question. Where are all these celebrities who purport to want to do better? Where are all these celebrities who say they're so liberal, who say they care about Black lives? Why aren't they out here on the street? Smash the like button if you haven't already. Share this stream if you're just joining us. We are marching through Beverly Hills. This is a counter-protest against Trump supporters who are apparently at the other end of this march. We're going up to the front here. 1 second, guys. Okay, so we have one of the leaders announcing something here to slow down a bit.
Get inside! Get inside! If they tries to drive through this crowd, we want to stay safe! 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Left, left, right, left.
Welcome, new Status Quo member Dominique. Thank you so much for joining. You're a hero. statusquo.com/join. You keep us going. You can see a variety of signs. Nazi Trumps, fuck off. We are marching up Wilshire Boulevard right now. There are cops to either side. Motorcycle cops to the left. You hear a vehicle honking, a couple vehicles honking in support. They're saying, how do you spell racist? BHPD. Again, we're in Beverly Hills. Signs saying, abolish the police, deport Nazi scum. We are again marching to where presumably the Trump supporters are, which is interesting in light of Trump being in the hospital for COVID right now. We'll see what excuses the supporters have for this. Smash the like button, guys. Share this stream. Subscribe.
The system will fall, the people will rise. The system will fall, the people will
System will rise. Oh, the system will fall. Excuse me. The system will fall. The people will rise.
Don't get distracted. It's okay. The people will rise. The system will fall, the people will rise.
So we heard a police vehicle behind the protesters. One of the, what seems to be one of the leaders, shouted that everything's okay. Again, marching up Wilshire Boulevard. You can hear police sirens in the back. So these protests have been ongoing since May. LA is actually one of the cities that hasn't really stopped. We're actually marching past the Chanel store here. Rodeo Drive is coming up. So this area is specifically chosen because it is full of very, very wealthy people who don't seem to be getting it. They're asleep. And I think, the hope of these protesters are that people wake up and see what is happening to Black lives here, what is happening to, the average American. Coming right up, Wilshire and Rodeo Drive. People to the side who were not previously part of the march are cheering in support. So you get people who kind of join the protests as they go by. Very, very ritzy area here. Rodeo Drive is right here. Police officers on either side. You see signs no more Little Shitler. Rodeo Drive. So this is where a lot of people come to shop. It's a world famous street. Lots of very, very pricey designer shops. And this hardworking group who comes out week after week is marching right past the wealth.
All right, everybody. We did not give the police a route. Therefore, they are following us in the back. So I advise you guys, I still don't trust their asses, to stay with the group. Stay together, stay tight.
Okay, so he said because they did not give the police their route, and the police are in fact following them anyway, that they must be following them with whatever tools they have. And so he advised the protesters to stay with the group. Smash that like button. I also have set up a specific trip fundraiser page, statusquo.com/West Coast. It's interesting to see, normal people walking by in their fancy clothes, not giving a shit about what actual people are dealing with. It's really kind of infuriating as you watch people walk by, not really knowing what's going on in the world. Okay, so we're still on Wilshire here, marching through Beverly Hills. We just passed Rodeo Drive. Smash the like button, share this stream. Let's get this out to more people. I think a lot of people don't realize that these protests are ongoing. LA is really a stronghold. So protesters seem to be turning around for a second here, and some protesters are saying they're going to keep moving. Police or bike cops have come right up against the marchers, riding around in a circle, doing what police do, being confrontational for absolutely no reason. There is a police vehicle with several police officers hanging onto it, ready to deploy at any moment. These protesters are used to it. Most of these protesters have been shot with pepper bullets, rubber bullets, have been brutalized by police, have been arrested, have had so many horrible things happen to them at the hands of police because they are protesting for Black lives. We have a vehicle in the midst here, Black Lives Matter. We have some cops coming in the motorcycles. Cops are definitely hot on the trail of the protest for sure. Protesters keeping going, no matter what. Again, they're used to this. I've spoken to people who started out protesting with basically nothing, and now they bring helmets, they bring gas masks, they bring bulletproof vests, they bring absolutely everything they can to stay safe. And that is because the police. All right, there's a bus driver who held her fist up in solidarity as she drove past. Keep those super chats coming. They definitely help us keep going. You'll see people who had been eating at restaurants to either side who have broken out their smartphones and are recording the protest. You know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they see the protests and their minds are changed, or they suddenly, understand what's actually going on. But I think more often than not, they simply see it as a spectacle. They're sitting in a fancy restaurant, whip out their phone, and that's the extent of their support. But then we have people who go by, like those folks, fist pumping, very into it. Right now we're marching Beverly Drive. There are legal observers in front of me, and they do what their name implies. They're people to contact and keep things kind of on the level legally with these police officers. Unfortunately, the police often arrest the legal observers. They get rid of them so that anything goes. If they get rid of the media and the legal observers first, then they can do whatever they want.
Y'all, if you're not already geared up and ready to go, get geared up at this intersection. You are extremely close.
Okay, so one of the protesters, marchers, said, if you're not already geared up, go ahead and get geared up now. And again, this comes from experience. These marchers have been through this. I'm gonna wait a sec. These protesters have been through this. They know what's coming. There are bike cops right in front of us here. Once again, one of the organizers, or I should say it's organized by everybody, but one of the marchers said, go ahead and gear up now if you have not already, because they have learned after months and months of protesting what they need to do to protect themselves, not from other civilians, but from the police. We're marching past the Rolex here.
Why are you shopping? People dying. Why are you eating? People dying.
You can hear them saying, why are you shopping? People are dying. Why are you eating? People are dying. As they march through.
Black lives, they matter here. All Black lives matter here.
Again, if you're just joining us, this is a march in support of Black lives against Trump.
Front line, get real tight. Front line, get real tight. Stay tight.
No prison. Total abolition.
They're telling everyone to stay tight, stay together for safety reasons. Smash the like button, share this stream, subscribe if you haven't yet. Yeah, Boss Music points out this is a peaceful protest. Nobody is rioting, it's simply chants and unity. You're 100% correct. The people here are completely peaceful.
Molotov! Molotov!
They are marching and they are chanting. Richard Atkinson, thank you so much. Richard says, risking your safety deserves a donation. I appreciate you so much, Richard. You know, it is risky. We have all of our protective gear here. Tina was shot up and down with pepper bullets and rubber bullets last week. Make sure people know about this stream, guys. Share it absolutely everywhere. Smash the like button. It really does help. You can help us keep reporting by becoming a member for just $5 a month. statusquo.com/join. Chanting "Eat the Rich." Again, we're walking through a very wealthy area, a place where people come to shop at some of the most elite shops in the world.
No KKK, no fascist USA! No KKK, no fascist USA! Burn the precincts to the ground! Burn the precincts to the ground!
Thank you, Robin Bennett, so much for the super chat. That's really amazing. Thank you so much. Keep them coming, guys.
Get tight right now! Hold! Get tight! Get tight! Get tight right here, y'all! Get tight, get ready! Remember what Trump said, stand by! Stand by!
Trump rally. They are going to try to fuck with us. We're not going to let them. We're going to stay together. We're going to stay tight. We're going to look out for our friends. We're not going to let any cars protest. Keep your head on a motherfucking swivel. Look to the left. Look to the right. We are going to march past them. We are not going to go into the park.
We're going to show them we are better than them and to be on standby.
We are showing them that they might be standing back and standing by for a white supremacist piece of shit president, but we are.
All right, guys, I'm gonna put my phone away. Keep the super chats coming. Keep the likes coming. Jordan's got you all in the chat, but I gotta get ready in case shit gets real. Keep it going, guys. Tons of super chats.
And they're gonna fucking see we do not accept white supremacy here. That's right. We're gonna walk out right now.
Hold on while I zipper my bag.
We can't fucking hear you. Are you ready? Yeah! Say fuck Trump! Fuck Trump! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Fuck Trump! Fuck Trump! Fuck ICE! Fuck ICE! Black and brown lives matter! 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 Y'all ready? Yeah!
Let's fucking go!
Let's go! Stay tight!
Fuck the Proud Boys! Fuck Proud Boys!
Fuck
You hear them saying, fuck the Proud Boys, which, as you know, Status Quo has done a lot of reporting on the Proud Boys recently.
Get tight, gear up! What do you guys want? What do you guys want? We want peace with you.
All right, back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Get out my face. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. Back the fuck up. I'll beat your ass. Back the fuck up. Go. Go, motherfucker. Go. Go. Get the fuck out of there. Bro, please, bro. He ain't shit, bro. He ain't shit. He ain't shit.
Keep going. Stay tight.
What are you doing?
Okay, so you heard a confrontation there. Proud Boy came up right against these marchers here. Okay, you see a bunch of Trump supporters in the fences over there, behind the little gates. Again, we're in Beverly Hills. Counter-protest meeting with Trump fans. The action is, sorry.
I'm gonna show you.
Let's hold line here.
You're gonna keep walking. Exactly. Keep walking. And you just show me what the sound.
Nobody fucking back here, homie.
Put that shit down.
Put up, homie.
Hey, let's go. Hey, come on, bro. Come on. What's up? What's up? Hey, we ain't fighting. We ain't fighting. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting. Hey, nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's fighting.
We're not fighting. We're not here to fight. 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 Respect. Respect.
That dude just maced us.
So you have the Trump supporters there grabbing their flag. Many of them went back.
Somebody got arrested.
Someone right now on the Trump side is getting arrested by 2 police officers. You can see he's wearing an American flag handkerchief.
Hey, they're already. I need you to come. I know. You want to get both sides? You gotta listen to me.
Right now, it's a kind of a holding pattern. Someone on the Trump side just got arrested. You can see the police are just standing in between the 2 sides. Again, we're in Beverly Hills. There are police surrounding as well on the roads. Trump supporters definitely... Okay, so there's a Trump right here that I want to get. So there have been several fights that have broken out. You need to come back over.
They told me I couldn't cross the street. I just crossed the way.
1 second here while we meet up again.
The area is closed. Please, for everybody's safety, please stand
All right, so right now, the Trump supporters are walking out into the street. There are police officers lining in between the two different groups of protesters, as well as in between. So I'd be very curious to hear how these Trump supporters view things in light of Donald Trump being in the hospital right now due to COVID. Something many of them don't think is real. So let's see if we can get any. Hey.
I can't tell you what. We can't tell you with the muzzle.
Well, we believe in freedom, and we're here to defend America, because if we let our guard down, China's going to take over. I mean, even Gavin Newsom went and bought all those masks from China. People need to wake up and realize, America, freedom isn't free, and our boys lost their lives for us. Trump is the only president that never went to war, yet everybody wants war because they want war, and he doesn't. Okay?
What do you think about him having COVID right now and in the hospital?
I think he'll be fine. He's got the strength of the Lord with him. He's totally fine, and all things happen good for those who know and love the Lord. So he's going to be fine. He's changed his ways.
What do you think about those who say that he was actually like sent from God?
Well, I mean, we were all sent from God. You know,
but some people think that he in particular.
Well, we all were, and all leaders are appointed by God, whether they be good or bad. Like Samuel and David and you know, King David and King James, and you know what I mean? So it's like they're all appointed by God.
Very interesting. Okay, thank you.
Okay. But we want freedom. We want to be able to roam the streets and do what we want, you know, and still be kind to one another.
What do you think about
I don't believe in killing fetuses, and I watched an abortion, and I'm not for that.
Well, one of the things that people bring up when you talk about abortion is like the kids who are separated at the border, that sort of thing.
I understand that's horrible. However, that was Clinton. And you could go down and you could look at the stats, and Obama. Now, he enforced what was already put ahead of him when he took office. So I promise you, those are fake pictures. See, people, I know, I don't even watch Fox. I have family that's in the FBI, so.
Well, so I agree. There are some pictures that are fake. There are others that absolutely are not fake. They do show horrible conditions that have increased. Family separation. Obama did a lot wrong, don't get me wrong, but the family separation has increased.
Actually, he got rid of illegal, what's it called? He deported more people than any other president. And Trump
prior to him.
Yeah.
So
Trump is a good old boy. Like, he just loves America, and he's not into identity politics. I'm not, you know. I don't understand why people have to identify each other by their skin color.
What do you think about his increased rhetoric that people might consider fascist, like endorsing the Proud Boys, white supremacists?
He told them 100 times, Proud Boys are black and white. He said he does not support the KKK. He said, name them. I don't support racism and fascism. If he did, he wouldn't allow us guns. People need to really do the research.
So do you think out of everybody that's available right now, Trump is absolutely 100% the person you want in the spot?
Absolutely. And honestly, I don't want division. I want people to see the opportunity they'll have in a free America. Because freedom isn't free. And if we let China take over, and Biden's a puppet, and you can clearly see his arm piece.
I know a lot of people are really upset and scared about China. But what about the fact that Trump said he would bring back so many manufacturing jobs? He was against NAFTA. A lot of that hasn't happened.
Well, because they were taking advantage of us in trade. Okay, we paid higher tariffs than any other country, and he put a stop to that. And then he's going to do a reset, which he's already in the making. If you look at the stock market and you look, you'll see that the economy is getting much better than it was before the coronavirus.
What I'm interested in, I don't know much about this, but like the QAnon stuff, do you know anything about that?
Yeah, where we go one, we go all. In 2016, there was some drops on 8chan and 4chan from military, underground people who do work for the president. They want to see this country great. They're very against pedophilia, so they've been dropping Q drops on different sites like Praying Medic, 4chan, 8chan, SX Report, SGT Report, True Reporting, all these different networks dropped the Q drops, and he told us last month, Red October, that there was going to be a corona scare with the president.
So who do you think Q is? What type of...
QAnon is a military group that backs the president all the way, and they're the ones, if you look, more children have been discovered, like missing. If you look right now, I think Nexium's talking, and what's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell. I think she's talking. Because if you look at all the pedophile arrests now, and there's been 36,000 pedophile arrests in the Trump administration, and I believe 288 in the Obama administration. So you got to look at some stats there. You know?
One thing people are concerned about with that, especially with like Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, is both Trump and Clinton were kind of friends with him and in his world. Does that at all bother you?
Because billionaires, there's a honeypot, right? And so when Trump saw, I want to get this on Facebook, when Trump saw Epstein and his ways with the young girls, he was at Mar-a-Lago. I'm from Florida, so I worked sometimes at Mar-a-Lago modeling the cars. And he saw that Virginia Guilfoyle was there. She was a towel girl, and she actually took Virginia. He took her and used her as a massage girl. And when Trump found that out, and he also hit on Ivanka, he was livid, and he turned him in. So he's never been on the island, ever. He took one trip on the plane to New York. That was it. And after that, he never dealt with it again, and he's the one who turned his name into the FBI. You could Google that, too.
I will give you that. There's no evidence that he was on the island. Bill Clinton, there is evidence that he was. In general, though, there are, in fact, a lot of allegations of sexual harassment, sexual assaults on the part, of course, going back to Bill Clinton, a ton for him, but also a lot for Donald Trump. Does that worry you?
Well, they're all accusations. Nothing's really set in stone, nothing. Even Stormy backed out. So, I mean, he's a billionaire, and he was such a good-looking guy when he was younger, too. So you got to understand, women are going to throw themselves at him. But look at Bill Cosby, how he went down. Look at the way Charlie Sheen never went down, which is... just the different people go down, but nobody could really go to court and face Trump and accuse him because they were just accusations. He was never convicted.
Okay, any last words you have for people about maybe what QAnon or Donald Trump? What do you think they're going to bring for the future?
I think that we should pray for the president, you guys. We need unity, not division. And all these BLM, all we want to do is fight for our freedom and keep America free. I mean, they're closing down our businesses. That's fascism. Okay, BLM is, a lot of them are working for George Soros. So
that's interesting. Have you seen something about evidence for that?
Yeah, I have family in the FBI, and also it's called Project Blue Chip. And what happens is these people, my friend has a neighbor who is an actor, and he advertises for come work in West Hollywood and support the Democratic Party, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the details, so. And they get money for actually going to rallies and being Antifa and BLM. They're making paychecks.
So you've actually seen these paychecks, or you've heard that they're coming down the pike?
Many intel, military intel, FBI, family.
Some people have said that talking about George Soros as funding everything is anti-Semitic. Do you see it like that at all?
George Soros is anti-Semitic. He was a Jewish boy who was captured by the Nazis to turn on his own family and turn his family in. And you know what he said? He felt nothing at the time. So I don't think I think he's horrible. He'll go down one way or another.
One last question. Do you support any of the things that Black Lives Matter is working toward? Like, what do you think about the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor?
Not at all. So I care very much about every human being. However, there was a black security guard that worked. I think he was maybe in his 60s, and he had a family, and murdered by Black Lives Matter in the streets. What about his life? Does he have a gold chariot? What about the little black babies that killed in the line of fire in Chicago? Okay? They don't put themselves in positions. They're innocent lives. What about all the black babies that Margaret Sanger set it up, Planned Parenthood, to kill the African American community off? What about those people? I do care about everybody's life. But they did put themselves in those positions. George Floyd was on drugs, and I don't know the Breonna story, so I don't want to comment.
She was sleeping in her bed, and police entered without knocking and shot her dead. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Shiva. She wasn't in her bed, right? No.
She was sleeping. She was sleeping in her bed, and then there was commotion. So she and her boyfriend Her boyfriend grabbed his, 2A. He grabbed his gun. Someone was breaking in, so he shot Brianna, and then the police, who had not announced themselves, shot and killed Brianna, who had done nothing.
I need to research that because, like I said, I'm more pro-life, so my thing is pro-American, okay? I'm not identity politics. I will have to research that. However, I care about the innocent lives of the babies and the black children that get killed in Chicago.
Let me tell you why this I agree.
Any last words you want to leave us with? Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Make America great again. You're welcome.
Have a good day.
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
But just you may react in a fearful way.
I answered a few questions just about your thoughts and stuff. Okay.
I'm going to ask you.
You guys, give me a second, and I want you to listen. If you can listen to me, I want you to listen to me. Okay, because there's certain people that I trust. Brandon Tatum's one of them because he gives out factual evidence, like an FBI report. You look it up, and it's true. Then you go and you see the media, and the media completely lies about the statistics. And you're like, yeah, because they want to divide us. So the media is what Trump calls the deep state. And they've been selling propaganda, and actually during the Obama administration, he passed what's called the Smith-Mundt Act. Everybody needs to look up the Smith-Mundt Act. They need to look up MK Ultra. They need to look up Operation Mockingbird and IIA. These are all manipulation tactics that they use against our own people and our media. And if you look up Anderson Cooper, he was an intern for the CIA. I'm a real reporter where I actually dig in and I actually look for the truth, unlike the fake stream media that's bought and paid for by the deep state.
So let me ask you this. Where did you get that Breonna Taylor was a thug? Where did you find that out?
The criminal. She's a criminal. So thug to me is criminal. So, it has nothing to do with
No, because wait a minute.
Okay,
Wait, this is your line. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, go.
And I did criminal law for 12 plus years.
Okay.
So, what was her conviction?
Her convictions that she had a dead body in one of her rental cars. She was
conviction. That's an allegation.
Let me finish.
That's an allegation. That's an allegation. I said, what were her convictions? Because
she was living in a drug house. She was living in a drug house.
Again. Wait.
Yeah,
from an attorney. Okay. There's no gray line in terms of conviction. You have to have a conviction. So I'm asking you. Okay. To me, a criminal means convicted. Convicted. No. Yes.
But if you're breaking the law, you're a criminal. If you're breaking the law, you're a criminal.
The court of law.
Can I ask you?
In the court of law.
I don't care about court of law. I care about actually doing it.
Because otherwise, it's an allegation.
It's like I get it.
It's
due
an
process.
allegation.
I get it. Due process.
It's an allegation.
Yes,
it's not.
but they did. But the house that she was in, it was the one that was under the warrant, and so was her car. It wasn't the boyfriend. It wasn't the neighbor. That was a lie in the media. You know, just
to me, you need to have and again. Yeah. There's no black and white.
But
from my standpoint, because I have a legal background.
Yeah.
I am a lawyer in Michigan. You can
look me up. I love it.
Brandy Taylor, P65040. Yes. But in order to be a criminal, to me, you have to have a conviction because anything can be an allegation.
Wait. A drug dealer and they don't get convicted, they're not a criminal?
Anybody can be alleged. Alleged. And until you're proven guilty in the court of law,
I think that
you're not.
I agree with that. Due process.
You're not.
But look what happened to our president. They called him, a Russian.
Was he convicted?
He was not.
Same goes both ways.
Same goes both ways. Look at how long it went. Look how long they even did it when they knew that he didn't have anything.
Allegations can come from any side. Allegations can come from any side and any source.
True.
Not just the police. They can come from any side and anybody. So to me, unless you have a conviction in the court of law.
Okay, so what I want you to do is watch Brandon Tatum because he's someone I trust. Because, like I said, him and I, when I do the research, I come with the same evidence that he does. So he's somebody I follow on YouTube. And just listen to what he says, and he actually shows certain things that this person got a felony, this person, you know what I mean? He does that.
Okay.
So just look at him with an open mind. And watch this movie. I just watched it last night. It was amazing. It's called Uncle Tom by Larry Elder. Now, you notice in the media how whenever they don't like somebody, like a black person, they call him an Uncle Tom? Did you know what it's based on? What is it based on?
You tell me.
Okay, I just wanted to know if you knew what it was based on. Huh?
I do.
Okay, it's based on Uncle Tom's Cabin, right? And the guy, whoa, wow. Okay. And, Really loud.
And I would say this is good.
Okay, hold on. Let me finish real quick.
Good and constructive conversation and dialogue that I appreciate.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, I believe number one, we have to respect each other. You're not going to get respect if you don't respect others.
If you don't get respect, you don't get respect.
Exactly, I agree. So my words, they came out of anger towards the media and wanting to tell me.
I'm sorry, time out. What is your name? No, somebody told me your name and he gave me like this long name and I'm like, I'm not going to remember.
It's Shiva Bagari.
Shiva?
You can hashtag me. I've been doxxed. They have a hit on my head right now. The deep state has a hit on my head.
SHIVA?
Yes, Shiva Bagari, yes.
Okay. Last name?
He is a boy.
It's already up there. BAGHE.
Yeah, I have a hit on. Yes, I have a hit on me right now. Literally, they even put a picture of my daughter.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay, they did. They put a picture of my daughter saying my mom's a racist. So I mean, and they've already doxed my address to millions of people. I can't even go home right now.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I know. Yes, it is. But they've already been outside of my house. That's what my neighbors. I haven't been back.
Okay.
But they've already.
Or what?
Huh?
Are you in the media or what?
I do my own, like, just home. You know what I mean? Home.
How it happened.
Yeah, actually, do you want to do the quick interview now?
Yeah,
That'd
sure.
be good. Okay, so we just caught the tail end of that you have a hit out on you. Can you expand on that? What's going on?
Yes. Because I started the Freedom Rally, I've already been targeted. And just so you know a little bit about me, I'm a single mom. I live in a one-bedroom apartment. I share a bed with my kid. I don't live in a highly secure place. I live in a very open area where people can find me easily. So I don't have what this guy Perez Hilton, who doxed me, I don't have the security detail that he has.
Perez Hilton, the blogger, like the celebrity blogger.
Correct. And so they've tried to shut me down for several weeks. I get calls and people trying to intimidate me, coerce me to shut down my freedom of speech. But it's really important that we fight for this because freedom of speech is for everyone. And you know what? I don't care what your thoughts are. They could be completely opposite as long as you're not like asking for the violence of anybody else. I'm okay with freedom of speech, and I will fight for your freedom of speech just as much as I'd fight for mine, even if it's polar opposite of your belief system, right? Because that's what America's about. It's about freedom. And that's why my father came from Iran, because we have what's called the Constitution that protects the people and it's supposed to have a balance of power. But unfortunately, I'm seeing those powers being ripped from us. I mean, look in California. We had, corporations open, but small businesses were shut down, and many have already moved out of the state.
Due to COVID.
Well, the way they handled COVID, okay? So, again, freedom comes from, we make risks all the time, right? When we get in a car, is there a risk to getting in a car? I know more people that have died from car accidents than from COVID. I know more people that committed suicide. Actually, I don't know one person that died of COVID, personally. I know many people that have died from car accidents and from suicide than I know from COVID. So
but what about...
we have to balance out, what is this, if we do this shutdown, how is that going to hurt someone? Well, it hurts them because some of these people have worked forever to build a business. And then when you destroy their business, they're depressed and some of them will kill themselves. What they've done to children. Do you think it's healthy for a child to sit in front of a computer all day? No.
It's not. I have 2 children that were dealing with that as well. But as you say, it's a risk versus reward sort of deal.
Look at the risk and you look at the actual signs, unlike what the mainstream media is saying, it doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Especially for children. It's almost impossible. It's like flu has killed more children than COVID has killed more children.
It is true that children are less susceptible to COVID. They can become carriers and spread it to others.
No, actually, very, very, if you don't have the symptoms, it is very, very hard to spread. It has to be droplets, number one. So, again, there's all this misinformation. I actually go straight to doctors when I'm talking about this.
Well, there are definitely differences of opinion on which doctor you go to. Obviously, we have Dr. Fauci. I know a lot of people on the Trump side don't like him.
Well, you know why? You know that you can't believe him is one minute he's saying, hey, don't wear a face mask, and the next minute he's saying wear a face mask, and then the next minute he's saying, okay, now wear goggles. I mean, you can't trust this guy. He's like made a lot of money donating to different, organizations that have actually caused this virus. I think it was a man-made virus, and it was made in China, in the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
So there are theories that go around saying it was made in China. Trump has kind of hinted towards that. There isn't evidence. He calls it China virus. There isn't evidence it's manufactured.
Where it was from,
Right, but the idea that it was manufactured isn't proven. Let's just clear that up.
Actually, there's so much evidence to prove it is, but unfortunately the mainstream media won't pick it up. Because think about it. The mainstream media is a monopoly in itself, okay? And who backs up the mainstream media? Big Pharma. Big Pharma, big science. They have this, it's like pseudoscience that we're hearing. Pseudoscience, pseudo-medicine. There's a lot of things that the medical industry makes money off of us being sick, right? Correct? I'm more of a holistic person. Unless I'm really, really ill, will I go to the hospital and do anything? You know what I mean? I'm more holistic because I believe in if you take care of your body will fight off disease. It will fight off viruses. It will fight off bacteria. And so that's why I don't live in fear like that. I just take care of my body. So that is the way what I believe in. But
what about the people who...
Wait, let me finish. So the monopolies, where do most of these drugs, where are they made? I love you too. So where does most of these medicines, where are they made? Do you know? China. So notice the mainstream media, most of them won't say anything negative about China. You don't cut off your suppliers, your sponsors. So that's where the mainstream media, it's corrupt. That's why you can't believe everything you hear in the mainstream media. You should do your own research.
I agree. So I 100% agree with you on the mainstream media. We're completely independent for a reason. The mainstream media is just, they've lost their minds. Yeah. But also, there's a lot of misinformation out there on both sides. It's easy to...
You should do your own research.
I do. Day and night, I do my own research. Okay, so the idea of Trump now having COVID, of so many of the people who attended the Rose Garden ceremony having COVID.
I hope you could. He wants death. See, this is where I get sick to my stomach. Why would you want death of anybody?
So just so they know what you're talking about, someone drove by and said something nasty.
And I hope you die. I mean, that is just, that's evil. So I'm a Christian, and anything that kills, robs, and destroys, I'm not going to be for. That's why, we pray for our enemies. That's what we do.
I'm curious to know what you think about Trump getting COVID. So many of his surrounding people, 25 people who are around him recently have COVID.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a hit job. Remember, look at all the vitriol against Trump. And the thing is, the mainstream media peddles it, but they stay protected. They make their followers the meat shields. So it's like puppet masters, you know what I mean? So I look at actions more than I look at talk, because talk is cheap. So what are the actions that Trump has done? His actions has protected we the people, while the left has pushed tyranny. I mean, lockdowns.
I definitely want to talk about that, but with Trump specifically getting COVID, you think maybe he was set up, you were saying?
It's possible.
In what way? What could have happened?
Of course, this is all it could be anything. So there could be many factors. Number one, he could have, they could have tried to give him something, and maybe he got sick, and maybe he was actually, they tried to kill him, but he's just going to say it's COVID to not freak out the public. You just don't know. He actually had a hit on him a week and a half ago. I forgot what's that stuff through the mail that people... It's something like that. Something was sent and that was reported that happened. So people are really hateful. I mean, look at the vitriol for our president. And even during Obama, by the way, I did vote for him the first time. I did leave the Democrat Party in 2017.
So you voted for, who did you vote for in 2016?
I didn't vote for anyone. I didn't like anyone. So I was like, I can't vote for anyone right now. But I did vote for Trump because it just made sense, okay? Secure borders, yeah.
You mean this time you voted for Trump or last?
2016.
Okay.
I changed affiliation. I was still a Democrat, but I did vote for Trump. But then I changed my affiliation to a Republican just because I wanted to vote in the primaries. Okay. And there's a lot of candidates that I love so much that I think would be great in this state that believe in freedom of speech, freedom to bear arms, all of the Constitution. They believe in the Constitution. Anybody that loves the Constitution is my best friend.
You were mentioning before, like the deep state, like this underbelly of, I don't know what you would consider it, but what do you think about that?
Is government that is against the people. They're more about control. So the thing that I didn't really understand with, like Medicare and all this stuff, all of these, what are they called? My mind is all fuzzy. Entitlements. I'm sorry, I just couldn't think of the word right now. I'm in a fog because I haven't had a lot of sleep because I've had a hit on me. With all these entitlements, what it is it's basically the government controlling people. So if they have people that are subject to, government control, then that's how they get manipulated. And I didn't really understand that until I started doing research and going, wow, why isn't black families doing better? They're getting these entitlements to help them. Why aren't they succeeding? Well, some of these entitlements are to divide the family. Like, you'll get more if you're not with the partner. And I think they should encourage good behavior instead of bad behavior. And that's what broke the family apart. And when you break the family apart, you destroy the people.
I'm curious what you think about the fact that income inequality is so drastic now, so dramatic. Where it used to be more equal, there were obviously always wealthy people, obviously always people who weren't so wealthy, but now it's like this, where the bottom are the real bottom and the wealth is all up in the top.
What states have the highest rent and the highest property, the amount of, to pay for a property, a house? Like, how much are these houses worth here?
I would assume LA is wild. I'm not from here.
So, where are you from?
I'm from the East Coast, Maryland.
Okay, Maryland, awesome. So, where?
Oh, okay, yeah, I know where that is.
What I always tell people is where is it so hard to pay for things? Like, which states are the highest in tax and all this other stuff? Democrat-run states. And who has open border policies? I mean, make it easy for you to just go over the border. Democrat-run states. Don't you think that if there's one person looking for a house, over 5 people looking for a house, would the price go up or down?
Well, sure, but in the end, those things.
That's competition.
And those, obviously, there's the middle class. There are people who are less wealthy. There are fights in between those, but you have the billionaires have gotten even many billions of dollars through COVID, through the crisis. Well, so you can fight over property values and stuff like that, but in the end, it's really all up at the top. So how can anyone succeed?
I don't agree with all of that, because when you look at taxes, it's the 1% that pay the most. I mean, it's like over.
Donald Trump paid $700 or something.
That was a lie. No, actually, that was a lie. And the New York Times, so that was a lie, another lie. He had paid before. They just showed what he paid extra. He had already paid ahead of time more than he was supposed to pay. So they didn't talk about that, and that was actually in the New York Times. So
okay, I'm happy to look into that. Jeff Bezos paid nothing, Amazon paid nothing. What about those?
Yeah, well, it's funny, he's a Democrat. Jeff.
Well, that's the thing, Democrat, Republican.
They pay property tax, they pay business tax, they pay so much.
But dramatically less than they used to at the top. Do you want to come over? No. Okay. They can't hear you.
Because these aren't the facts.
I know, to them it sounds like dead air, though, so I either have to hold it out to you or...
you should only ask questions like, are you aware of how much taxes?
Oh, careful.
Well,
Don't
I'll ask whatever It's okay. Thank you. For sure.
Well, this is the thing. You know how I learned the media was propaganda? Is because I was a dog walker. I mean, I don't dog walk as much because my business has been thrashed from all of this. But when I did that,
from COVID, from this situation, the pandemic.
From COVID, my business has been thrashed. Yeah, I mean, you say COVID, I say the shutdown. The shutdown is what killed it. It's not COVID. COVID.
Could you have been helped by if the program?
I know I already had COVID in the end of January. My whole family got sick. We had visitors from another country come in here.
So you had a small business. A lot of big businesses got essentially bailed out. They got a ton of money, loans and stuff like that. What about your small business? Did you?
Well, they were supposed to bail out a lot of people, but we have a lot of, Congress is run by the Democrats, and they're not doing anything right now. They're just, we've been trying to pass an extra money.
Two sides are playing, yeah.
So they're playing politics because they think that if they do that, then they look good and that he looks bad. So a lot of what the Democrats do is to make themselves look good, and they know 90% of the media is going to be falsehoods. So anyway, when I was dog walking, I watched all the live hearings. And I looked at which outlets were telling the truth, and I got to tell you, most of the outlets were lying about the things that I saw. So I got firsthand about what was going on in these trials, and then they would say something that was off the wall. I was like, what? This is crazy. But then I looked into it. So I looked into the Smith-Mundt Act, where it legalized propaganda during the Obama administration. You know that journalists were targeted during the Obama administration?
Absolutely, of course.
So,
they still are, Julian Assange.
Yeah, so exactly, Julian Assange. I feel sorry for the guy. Let the guy out, for gosh sakes. WikiLeaks was truth. It was like, there was nothing, it was 100% accurate. They were leaks.
Do you think Trump should pardon him?
I wish he would. So, I don't know why Trump isn't. So again, I don't bow down to Trump, but I do like most of the actions. There's some things I'm like, why haven't they, said that Antifa is a domestic terrorist group when they've destroyed so many of these cities? You see it, like Andy No, I follow Andy No. Man, what are they doing? I mean, this is violence. We're not supposed to allow violence in our country like this. So I just think it's so wrong. And, they say they're anti-fascist, but then they're burning down black businesses as well. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They're destroying everybody's life. Anybody that really cares about this country is not going to destroy it. They're not going to kill, rob, and destroy. They're going to lift it up. And we all, as citizens, should lift this country up and be individuals into doing that. Let's do that. Let's all come together. Let's stop listening to the media. I mean, really, we should give the double-barrel middle finger to the media. Seriously. And come together and build this country up and do what's right with it. I love this country so much. I was born in Iran. This is the best country in the world if we can keep it, and I'm afraid we're going to lose it. And we have too much of this deep state government that's taking over.
One thing that I was hearing earlier is about the QAnon deep state stuff. Do you think anything of that?
A lot of it's been accurate. So, it's kind of interesting when they were talking about Q, and then they said, oh, well, look at the, John F. Kennedy's thing. John F. Kennedy, it would be more like a Republican now. He was a dino, Democrat in name only. So, and I was not for the Bush family. They were not conservatives. Did you know that Prescott Bush was the treasurer of Planned Parenthood? And Planned Parenthood was started by Margaret Sanger, who was a racist eugenist. So if the BLM were really serious about going after racism, they would go after the Planned Parenthood organizations because they're killing all their babies. Not all, but a lot. Why do you think they're only 13% of the population? Shouldn't we have more black people in this country than only 13%? That doesn't make any sense.
So what do you think, going off of that, what do you think about the Black Lives Matter movement in general? Like George Floyd killing Breonna?
It's this movement, and I can prove it. Look at, I screenshot this before they took it down. Now it's not even there.
Okay, so 1 second. She's pulling up a screenshot.
I'm going to just read it.
Can he? Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll read it. But here's this. See? Oh, wait. See right there? It says blacklivesmatter.com. So I'm not lying. This is a screenshot. See right there? blacklivesmatter.com.
Where is it?
Right there, blacklivesmatter.com.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay, oops. We disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. What's missing from that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable? What's missing from that equation? What do you think?
I don't know. Go ahead.
What, anybody? Yep. Fathers. They don't have fathers in that. What happens when you take the father out of the home? I can recite what Obama said. I'm going to recite what Obama said. This is a quote from Obama. And I agree 100% with Obama on this. You and I know, true, this is in the African American community. We know that more than half of all black children live in single-parent households, a number that was doubled since we were children. Hi, Carl, how are you? We know the statistics that children who grow up with a father are 5 times more likely to live, without a father, sorry. Without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of schools, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. They are more likely to have behavioral problems or run away from home or become teenage parents themselves. And the foundations of our community are weaker because of it.
Okay, so saying people agree on those things that Obama said, what about, you were talking earlier before we grabbed you for an interview about Breonna Taylor.
Yes. Because the media wants me to feel a certain way. I shouldn't have to feel that way. Say your name, say your name. Wait a second, I thought I'm my own person and I have my own mind. Why are you telling me? Why are you telling me to say someone's name, first of all, that I don't know, and you're giving me misinformation on TV? And I think what it is division, because remember, they need to sow division. So they need, blacks against police. That's division.
I would agree that there's a lot of people trying to...
Division.
But in the end, it's
division.
But about
religions against each other, division. This is what they do. They sow division because it's the Saul Alinsky divide and conquer tactics. They've used it throughout history. This has been going on through history. Is divide and conquer.
But specifically, like in the case of Breonna Taylor, do you believe that police can be judge, jury, and executioner in a case of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd?
I don't believe that's what happened. Brandon Tatum, like I said before, is somebody I follow because I do the same research he does, and we come up with the same ending result. So, when you find someone like that, you follow them over someone has already lied many times to you, right? If I was your friend and I kept lying to you, would you believe me? Exactly. But if you have someone that you are doing the same stuff and you're coming out with the same stuff, would you believe them? Exactly. So that's why I believe Brandon Tatum over the mainstream media, and he's an ex-cop, so he knows a lot about police procedure. He's a black man. And he was told all this stuff when he was younger, that whites hate blacks, and then he went to college and it changed his perspective. He got out of the bubble of thinking that, and then he changed his mind. There's a great movie, I just watched it last night, Uncle Tom, and it's based, on what we're told about Uncle Tom, right? This is another lie. They call Uncle Tom anybody that they don't agree with on the left, right? They call him an Uncle Tom. I started doing research about Uncle Tom. I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I'm a very curious person, so I'll look it up. It's based on Uncle Tom's Cabin. And the character was based on Josiah Henson, who was a minister, and he actually was an abolitionist. He fled slavery, and he helped others flee slavery. So he was a hero. So why is the mainstream media making Uncle Tom a bad thing?
Well, so I can't speak to that movie and your thoughts there, but about the Black Lives Matter goals in general, do you agree with any of them? Do you think in general...
the village should raise my child. I believe the parents should raise their child.
Of course, but do you think that...
This is another thing I forgot to show you. So I'll show you... Okay, so funny, when they were flicking off the people and then they were coming back and I just smacked this, I'm like, don't do that. I'm like a mother, Well, I am a mother, so that's why. I just laughed because I thought it was funny, his response. He was like, oh, what? I'm like, it's kind of hilarious. Where was I on here? Oh, you know what? I have it on here. Oh, no. I have it on my picture, sorry. Here we go. We cultivate an intergenerational and communal network free from ageism. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Free from ageism, like the thought of how old someone is and judging them based on.
Okay. What does that what would happen if your child doesn't have an age?
Well, I don't know, but you tell me, because I got to ask you one more question, then I got to run.
Okay. Well, ageism, if they're free of ageism, then you can push pedophilia. And look at Senate Bill 145, second paragraph that just got passed by Gavin Newsom, protecting pedophiles. So if you're within 10 years of age, so an 18-year-old can go and rape an 8-year-old, and if it's their first offense, not be a registered sex offender. Do you think that would keep children safe or not safe?
Well, I definitely agree. I think we can all agree that pedophilia is bad. I'm not from California, so I would need to look into that
Just Senate Bill
specifically.
145, look it up.
Okay, so one thing that I just want to figure out is if you think that police do brutalize black and brown people more than white people.
No, because actually the facts, FBI statistics, there's twice as many whites that get killed by the police. Twice as many. Now, there's only 13% of blacks, right? So I take that in consideration. But there's more than 50% of blacks that are committing violent crimes. More than 50%, when they're only 13% of the population.
Typically living in high crime, very high poverty areas.
Yes, but why are they high crime poverty areas? That's what we need to look at. The education is bad, right? So what did our president want to do? He wanted to give them school choice. But the Democrats want everybody to have public school. They want to get rid of charter schools. They want to give us less freedom.
Well, I think what people would say is that they want the money that's at the top to be funneled to the bottom so that those impoverished areas, those children who can't get schooling, do get schooling.
Listen, we're not supposed to steal from one group to give to another. Whenever we make something unbalanced, which already, if you look at the taxes, the higher bracket pays more than the lower bracket.
Yeah,
I'll show you.
I know. I've seen all the charts, but I think maybe look at the income inequality charts that have grown throughout the many decades, and it is stark, it is drastic, it's undeniable. The money is all at the top, and it's getting worse.
Run states.
Well, that's no one's
taxes higher than any other state.
Of course.
So if you look at even this state. So let's look at this state. Look at all the money that has been spent with our taxes for the homeless crisis, but we have more homeless living on the street now than we did before.
It's an absolute terror.
They're stealing our money. They're stealing it.
But who is?
Just the politicians. They're stealing our money.
But all the money is up with the billionaires and the lobbyists.
Look up Newsom's family, the Gettys, the Browns, and the Pelosi's. They're like a four-crime family.
Pelosi's, yeah, I'm not disagreeing
They're like
with you.
a four-crime family.
I'm not disagreeing with you there, but where I disagree is that the money is.
The stock. I believe there's inside trading going on. I do believe in that.
For sure, but
and I believe that we have monopolies, and we weren't supposed to be about the monopolies. We were supposed to break up monopolies. So we should be breaking those up, like saying, this is too much power for one person.
Absolutely. So there's a protest against Jeff Bezos and Amazon tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there.
Though the one thing is, I do like it's pretty cheap. I wonder if we do it, is it going to make us, the consumers, pay more money? I don't know. But I do believe in breaking up because no one should have that much power and money in a country. That's too much. And when there's more government power, it always goes wrong. I mean, look at Venezuela, look at Iran. Look at Cuba, look at Germany, look at Russia. I mean, these are North Korea. All of these places, because the government had too much control. So I'm so against too much government control. We need to trim the fat. The government is too powerful. And they don't care about we little people. I mean, think about it this way. I have a target on my head. I'm just a single mom, okay? I'm not some celebrity. I don't have, security watching me. I don't have that. Yet, we got some guy that's a NASCAR guy, he's celebrity status. He says that he sees the news and they have many FBI agents, watching over him.
Wow.
And you know what I mean? So this is where we have the unbalance here. People like me are not being protected because we are treated less. So I believe in real equality. We need to treat everyone equal. If we want to really have an even ground, we got to start treating everyone equal.
Okay.
Thank
you so much for talking with me. I'm going to run across the street. Thank you again.
Is there a place I can look you up?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, status quo.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go. Me too.
I haven't slept for days because I've been so scared. And
well, I wish you the best.
Thank
It's
you.
awful. It's really awful. Okay, we're about to cross the street where the Trump people who marched have come back to their space. You can hear people honking along in support.
I hope you guys report her as very sweet. I've known her 25 years.
It's live. It's not what she thought about her.
Okay, good. I can't stand sound bites because that's what this guy from Hospitalization did. He put a sound bite and he said that I claim to believe that she deserved to die. I never said those words. I said where the energy goes, the energy flows. She's a thug because I get my information from, unlike the mainstream media, I get it from someone that was a cop that got a leak of what really went on. He was leaked by the cops because the cops are being tired of being treated this way, you know, and fake news. And a lot of them are getting assassinated. So we've got, you know, one of my best friends, her uncle was assassinated. He's a cop, and he was a great man, great father, and just killed. You know what I mean?
You know, I was in D.C. and I was just reporting just like I am now, and I was shot with pepper bullets and I was beaten with a shield.
Is that what happened there? Because I see a...
Actually, that was from reporting. I got rubbed on the...
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
it cut right here. But I do have bruises and stuff. I was beat with a shield for simply reporting just like I am now.
Wow.
So is my friend Tina, who's around here, a journalist. This was in D.C. Tina's was here in L.A. John's gotten beat up by police just for reporting.
Well, again, look at who is the hierarchy. You always have to look at who's controlling the cops. Right now, I haven't had anybody, like I'm supposed to have a detective that is assigned, and I still don't have a detective. I made the report on Tuesday, you know, so I'm waiting on that, you know. So you just have to look at who pulls the strings, because the cops, they're upset, trust me. They're doing their job like this, or there's some certain things they can't do. So it's almost like they're being orchestrated to look bad by what the hierarchy is telling them to do. So it's an orchestration. Do you know what I mean?
It's also a personal choice to like beat a journalist with your shield over and over.
You should. Yeah, I got so upset when I saw a cop. Remember the lady that didn't wear a mask? I don't know if you saw it. It went viral. She's not wearing a mask and she's outside, far away from anybody else, watching her kid play some kind of sports. And a cop comes up to her and assaults her, and then does one of those to her for not wearing a mask. Yet they're letting criminals out of jail here.
Yeah, all right.
This is what.
There's a lot.
So yeah, I don't believe any cop that takes away someone's right and does that to you when you didn't do anything wrong, because there's freedom of the press, should be in jail. So this is why this is communistic. I mean, that's exactly what happens in a communist country, is you get.
It's happening here. It's happening in our very capitalist.
It's really scary, and that should never happen to you, and that should have never happened to her. So this is where it gets police state. I believe in law and order and basic, in the law and order, but this whole thing, that's police state. And I'm not okay with that. I'm for freedom. And any cop that swore upon the Constitution should uphold the Constitution, regardless of what their hierarchy tells them to do. Even if they're going to lose their job, you got to have balls, guys. I mean, I've lost everything to speak the truth. I've lost even my, even being around my kid right now. I lost that.
Well, I wish you the best, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, so sorry. We are right now in the midst of a Trump supporting rally. There are a lot of different signs around here. Some are anti-pedophilia signs, which has become, obviously we are all anti-pedophilia, but it plays very much into the QAnon conspiracy that's growing and growing. You can see people of all ages here. Not much of different races, although some. Let's see if we can speak with... I want to try to get a QAnon person. Maybe I can get this nice woman here. Hey there, can I ask you a couple questions? Hi, I see your signs here. So could you show the camera your signs?
Open schools. Yeah, my daughter is a teacher for LAUSD. She teaches history class at a high school, and she sees the need for more police at schools, not less police. A lot of kids get bullied, you know, in school and just outside schools, plus a lot of pedophiles. That's why I have this. We need more police, not pedophiles. If we take the police, our children are at the mercy of bullies and pedophiles, which we get in the drug dealers too. So my daughter I'm here for her. She's busy correcting papers right now because she teaches 4 classes, but I come under, you know, to represent her needs as a teacher, because the teachers also end up being very vulnerable, you know. You know, there are people out there that attack teachers also. So she sees herself very vulnerable with less police at the schools. So
What do you think about the people who think that there should be... Hold on. See if the honking stops. What do you think about there were Black Lives Matter protesters who are protesting against police because they've murdered black people, for example? What do you think about that movement?
I'm not denying that there may be some bad apples within police department. There's bad apples everywhere. We have bad doctors, we have bad lawyers, we have many more bad politicians than we may have more, you know, bad policemen. Politicians are the ones that are, you know, responsible for creating a safe environment for everybody. And at this point in time, they're not. I think our leaders, especially here in California, we're all, the leadership is entirely Democrat. And look at the state of our state. So I come here, like I said, because I think that even though we may have some bad apples within the police department, they should address those individually and bring them to justice. There's a lot of policemen that have been indicted and found guilty, and they are serving time. So all this talk about systemic, no, I'm sorry, I don't buy it. She's been teaching 2 years full-time. Before that, she was a substitute teacher, and she was sent all over the county. And she saw some horrendous things. The kids are victimized, the teachers are victimized with less police. And police, like I said, they're not perfect, they have their bad apples. But if you're going to compare the good with the bad, there's a lot more good ones that we need. So
well, you mentioned that you don't think it's systemic, but we've had recent bouts of police murdering George Floyd.
The young people are not being taught to respect authority. They don't respect their parents. They don't respect the teachers. They don't respect anybody anymore. They've been conditioned to say that you can do and say what you want and you're going to get away with it.
Does that mean police should be able to shoot them dead?
No, it doesn't mean that. But if they're teaching the kids to resist authority, to not listen to the teachers, and to even, like my daughter, they will throw things at her. The kids, and I'm talking 7th or 6th graders. I mean, who's teaching them those things? Where are they learning that kind of behavior, that kind of disrespect for any kind of authority, let alone police? Okay, of course, they've been demonized for years and years. I'm not talking just now. Since way back in the 60s, police were being demonized. And like I said, I'm not denying that there may be some bad ones. There's always going to be some bad ones. But that doesn't mean the entire, and you cannot do away with all the police like they want to do in over there in Minnesota. No, and here in LA, the mayor took off $250 million from the police. And then these kids are totally left with no protection. The teachers, no protection.
Well, a lot of that money goes into military equipment for the police. Do you think they need?
And that's why I'm here, because I see the need. Plus, I was a public servant employee for 25 years. I worked for the county of LA. I worked for the city of LA. And yes, I'll admit there might be some, bad police, bad sheriffs, but they have caught them. They have caught them, and they've been indicted. They've been put in jail and serving time. And so, but to do away with all the police, that is, crazy. Where are you gonna, how are you gonna, they're gonna send social workers to calm down a guy with a gun or somebody who's, gone crazy. No, it's totally ridiculous. So I'm here to support the police.
Switching topics here, why do you support Donald Trump? What is it that you like about him?
Donald Trump is my hero. I'm sorry. A lot of people, I used to be a Democrat for years and years and years. When I worked for the city and for the county, I saw all the waste, the fraud, all the corruption. And yeah, I saw it from both, but much more from Democrats. I'm sorry. All this liberalism and all this. Yeah, I realize that there's some things that need to be changed, that need to be reformed. But to go from one extreme to the other, we're gone back to the extreme left, where now nothing is sacred. People want to get away with everything, We have to have law and order. This country was founded on law and order. And all these people that are claiming that, all these police are just Gestapo, they're like Nazis. No, come on. They're overstating it, they're exaggerating, and people are suffering, and more people are dying now because of Black Lives Matter and Antifa. I mean, more people have died since they started all this campaign, more so than all the police departments that you want to accuse of being,
Well, statistically, that's not true. I will say, of course, there have been some unfortunate deaths at protests. But statistically, it's daily that we have brutality by the police. I want to ask, too, what is your favorite thing that Trump has done over the past 4 years? Your favorite policy of Trump's or the favorite thing he's done the past 4 years?
The policy that Trump has done? Yeah, he's the first one. He's being accused of being a racist, but they don't look back. Even before he was actually elected, he was already working with black communities. You see them in pictures with Al Sharpton, you see them in pictures with Jesse Jackson, with Oprah Winfrey, with all these people that are blacks. They were even giving him awards and medals for all the work that he was doing in their black communities. Now, as soon as he became a Republican and ran for office, now he's a devil. Come on, that doesn't make sense. And the prison reform, he did it, okay? Obama didn't do it, Bush didn't do it, Clinton did the worst. He's the one that brought in all these laws against, basically minorities that put more blacks and Hispanics and minorities in jail for much longer time and for smaller sentence.
Well, a lot of people bring up that Joe Biden was the author of the crime bill.
Okay. So right now, yes, I agree. President Trump did the right thing by passing prison reform, but the best thing that he did was doing these opportunity zones, because it's okay to let people go, but then what do after they leave jail? They have no jobs, no education, so they go back to crime. So all this, crime reform is fine and dandy, but then you have to do follow-up. Make sure that these people are going to stay out of jail and they're going to be becoming good citizens. So he did that. He did both. Prison reform to lower the sentences for all the minorities, and help even before they left jail. They started getting job training. After they leave, they continue to monitor them and to get all these businesses to contribute to the opportunity zones. So these young people or even older people that have been in jail for many years can be able to get a job and to become part of society. To me, that is the greatest thing they did. So all this talk about he's such a racist, no, come on. It's all made up to make him look horrible because they hate him. Because he came in to really put things in order. He's not perfect. We never have said that Trump is perfect. And we did not actually voted for Trump because he was perfect. We voted for him because we were sick and tired of all the corruption that we were seeing in Obama and even Bush and Clinton's. We just sick and tired. I worked, like I said, for the city of LA. I worked for the county of LA. I saw it firsthand. All the abuse, all the corruption, all the fraud.
Do you think that the Trump administration has been corrupt at all? I mean, a lot of them have left, they've resigned, they've been kicked out, they've, are indicted on things.
That shows you that he's not actually accepting. If he puts somebody in a position and he doesn't perform well, or there's talk about being corruption, out you go. To me, that's proof that he's he's serious about cleaning up corruption, even within his own people. You know, not like in the Democrats, people commit a crime and everybody's around them, protecting them and changing, you know, all the laws to protect that criminal. I mean, we see it right now with all the Obama administration, what they did to Trump before the election and after the election. They were trying to kick him out, and they used the government, they used our taxes to commit all these crimes, and they're walking around like nothing, you know? So no, he has let go people, and some people have committed violations. Thank you for letting them go, and we want that. We want less corruption. We want more honest people. And if you're not willing to be a good servant and earn your salary, good riddance, you know? I don't care if 20 years ago you were, an angel from heaven. If today you're a corrupt politician, you're out. And even if it's a Republican, I'll go for it. I'll say, yeah, he's a Republican, he's a conservative, but he's not living up to his promises. He's not living up to his values and principles that we support. So, I don't care how good you were 20 years ago. You're out today.
Okay, last question. What do you think about Trump having coronavirus? He was obviously very anti-mask. People criticize his coronavirus response. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are this. The coronavirus is real. We're not saying that it's not. All he was doing was letting basically each state decide how to handle, because California is not like Arizona. California is not like Wyoming. Obviously, every state and every governor has the authority by law, by the Constitution, to do what is best for their people, for their safety in every aspect, in the way they want to run their government. So he is not necessarily saying, oh, no, just go out and do whatever. It was mostly Pelosi and Cuomo and de Blasio that were telling people to go out there and ignore Trump's recommendation that we do not get all.
But what about Trump himself? He wasn't wearing a mask and now he has coronavirus.
Well, nobody's immune. I don't care. They were testing him every day because he's obviously, he's working. He's not locked up in a basement like Biden. He's working, he's traveling here, traveling there, taking care of business. And the guy doesn't even get a salary. He's donating his salary. How many Democrats that are wealthy like Feinstein and Pelosi, how many are they actually donating? No, they actually want more and more money, more of our money, because it's our money. And Trump has not received 1 cent since he became president. And so nobody's immune. He's surrounded by many people.
So do you think he should have set a better example by wearing a mask and things like that?
He obviously felt that since he was being tested constantly, that maybe he was not as safe. But we don't know, because obviously even if you're tested, you're gonna get it. So this is just one more thing that we're learning about the coronavirus. Every day they learn something new. Every day they're bringing up new things. Fauci was saying in the beginning, no, a mask is not even that healthy. Don't wear mask. Then later, oh yeah, wear mask. Then again, no, don't wear mask. So even supposedly the authorities, the medical authorities, they were giving all kinds of very confusing advice, but they want to blame Trump for everything.
They definitely...
He was trying to do the best that he could think of at that moment and following the science. Here in California, no police in the schools. Guess what? They're hurting the kids by not having police in the schools. Like I said, I'm here to represent my daughter because she's busy. But I'm telling you, we need police because this is a country of law and order. I'm an immigrant. I came here legally when I was 12 years old. I learned about the history of the United States before I became a citizen. I learned to appreciate what we have here. We don't have systemic racism. We have racism, yes, but not systemic racism like they claim. It's a false narrative. They're lies to try to keep the people in power over there, controlling everything. In California, they control everything. The Senate, the House, or the legislature in Sacramento with Gavin Newsom. And what have they done with California? As California goes, so does the rest of the nation.
Okay.
I'm here to also recall him because he's not doing the best for California.
Okay.
He's Pelosi's nephew, and they're in cahoots to hurt the people instead of helping them. They claim to be very concerned. They claim to be, but their actions speak louder than their words. Trump may be a big mouth. Trump may be not so polished. Trump, he's not a politician that tells you all these beautiful things and then, doesn't do anything like Obama did. Trump will talk rough because he has to defend himself and defend the people. So all these people that, he's so rough, he's so uneducated, whatever, but I watch what he does, not what he says. I watch what he does, and his actions so far have been to show that he really cares for me, he cares for my children. I have, children, I have grandchildren. I want a better America for them. I found America beautiful when I came here. It was a country that was clean, that was respectful. I went to parochial school, I went to public school, I saw both sides. Everything was law and order, respect for authority, respect for your teachers, love for your country. I love this country. I would, why?
No, I would say I don't think everyone has experienced that, unfortunately.
I'm an immigrant. I went to public school. I went to Catholic school. I saw both sides. I worked for the government and I worked in private industry, both. So I've seen it from both sides. So what I'm telling you is that I choose to be a conservative because I have seen the difference of what it has done. Conservatism versus liberalism. Liberalism that is carried to the extreme. Okay? Yeah, I understand there's some progressives, they want changes. Yeah, let's work on it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out a way to have better education, better teachers, more loyal public servants and root out the corruption. But all this, no, corruption, yeah, it's okay. You put it under the rug. No, don't say anything.
I think we can all agree that corruption has to get out. Thank you so much for talking with me. You have a nice day. Right here.
Yeah, what do they do?
We're an independent news outlet.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So it was difficult to find a spot there to pull away. Some interesting thoughts. It really is like people are living in two separate realities. I cannot interview. Hey, can I interview you? Yes. Okay. My name is Jen. You have an Assange mask on, I see. What are you here for? What's up?
I'm Julian Assange. I'm currently in prison in the United Kingdom. My trial is actually over. However, they won't let me go. The extradition trial is unprecedented. This is the first time that an American journalist / publisher is going to be potentially extradited to the United States, and it's the first time that the Espionage Act is being used against a publisher or a journalist. So it's a huge deal for free speech, and it's everybody should be worried. You guys should be very worried. I'm very surprised that the media isn't covering it as much as they should because it concerns them directly.
Absolutely. We've been covering it for sure, but we've definitely noticed the mainstream media isn't covering it. We're independent. It really does affect us all as journalists. Julian Assange was not a hacker. He's a publisher, a journalist. I assume you watched the extradition hearing. There were a ton of different witnesses, Noam Chomsky, Daniel Ellsberg. What stood out for you with those witnesses?
What is for me? Can you repeat the question?
What stood out for you? What points did they make that you thought were particularly important?
Well, I think the most important thing to block his extradition is the point about his potential, not just mental illness, but his actual health. As we've seen, a lot of people have COVID right now. And it's a huge problem because he wasn't able to exercise for 7 years in the embassy. And his mental condition is also very vulnerable because he has been under essentially, what do you call it when you're isolated? Complete social isolation, basically, for such a long time. Solitary confinement, exactly. So the problem is that if he is extradited, he might die. Or, as we've seen with Jeffrey Epstein, he might kill himself. Or actually kill himself. That's the thing. So it's actually illegal because of those things for the United Kingdom to extradite him. And of course, the other main point is just the huge ramifications for freedom of speech, for journalism. The Obama administration, who actually prosecuted three times more journalists under the Espionage Act compared to any administration before that, even they didn't think that they had enough grounds to go after Julian Assange because they believed that, I think they called it the New York Times problem. They knew that if they were to go after Assange, they would have to prosecute the New York Times, Der Spiegel, The Guardian. So yeah, I appreciate you guys covering this. Definitely, please continue doing so.
Why do you think that, like, the New York Times, the Washington Post aren't really hadn't really covered the extradition hearing, except to say stuff like, "Oh, Julian Assange had an outburst today"? That's the only thing that they would report on. What are their reasons?
I think the main issue is clicks, and at this point in time, you're not really going to get a lot of clicks unless you play into the duopoly, unless you're saying something against Trump or pro-Trump. As I was following the extradition hearings, the one day that the media was kind of lit up about the hearings is because they said, oh, wow, we realized that Trump might have come to Julian Assange and offered him a pardon in exchange for information about Russia. So you can see that these buzzwords, these click words, these things that come up in Google searches, they're the stories that are being prioritized right now. So as much as I do want to say that, you know, journalists are potentially responsible, it's also their editors, and it's also just this idea of you could be working on a story, but it could get shut down because some story about, you know, the top 5 best, I don't know, some BuzzFeed list will get priority because it's going to get more clicks. And again, things that play into the duopoly of Trump versus Biden versus, you know, Antifa. I've seen videos from these rallies get covered as Antifa supporters versus alt-right. You know, these click words, these buzzwords are the only things, unfortunately, that make it into mainstream media right now. But we need to change that.
Do you have any kind of thoughts on what Trump might do? Do you think he might pardon? Do you think he'll ignore it and see what happens? What about if Biden gets in? What are your thoughts on that?
So first of all, I will say I don't think that Biden will be any better for this issue because he was part of the Obama administration that was pursuing all the whistleblowers, including Chelsea Manning, and they were also going after Julian Assange. But again, they didn't think they had enough grounds, and the Trump administration in 2019, they illegally had United Kingdom, the police come and arrest Assange. So people are telling me that, oh, don't worry, you know, if Trump gets reelected for another term, he's going to pardon Assange, or don't worry, it's part of the plan. They're going to extradite Assange, but then they're going to pardon him. But it doesn't really make any sense. That's akin to kidnapping because he's an Australian citizen. So if they wanted to, they don't even have to pardon him. They just have to drop the charges and they have to just end the extradition, and then he would be a free man. There's absolutely no reason to pursue the extradition trial. Now it's been delayed. The actual final answer, as you already know, has been delayed until January. So there's no point of keeping this man in solitary confinement in a place where he could potentially get COVID-19, where he could potentially die or potentially commit suicide. There's really no point in doing that when they could just drop the charges. So unfortunately, I don't have that many hopes for Trump or Biden. I think our main hope is more people becoming aware of it and more people out on the streets protesting, which I'm not seeing a whole lot of in America right now, but who knows? I have hope.
Any last words for people who want to learn more about Assange or want to kind of join in the action to help him?
Well, I definitely think that a major concern is guilt. So a lot of people are saying, oh, well, why should I focus on Assange if, you know, we should focus on Breonna Taylor, we should focus on Trump's tax returns, we should focus on all these other things. But the thing is, Assange is the core problem. And if we can't get justice for Assange, then in the future, you won't get access to any other information. Why were Breonna Taylor's, the body cams, they weren't leaked on time for the trials because there's just this atmosphere, this general atmosphere where whistleblowers don't think that they're going to have the right to be protected. And, you know, people are championing, yeah, we got the tax returns. Yeah, we heard about, you know, the illegal hysterectomies at the border. But those things wouldn't be possible without whistleblowers. So I think everybody should just stop feeling guilty that you're not paying attention to other stuff that might be more important. But actually, this is the most important thing. And if you can't get behind this, then all the other things that you take for granted, potentially, they might go away as well. So just take a little bit of time out of your day and just research the case, and you'll hear everything you need to know. You can look up Glenn Greenwald. He's done some really good work. Max Blumenthal. There's just a ton of really good journalists out there that are covering this, including you guys. So
thank you so much. You want to give them your name or no?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sonia. Look up TubeAnon on YouTube. It's not TrueAnon, it's not QAnon, it's TubeAnon, like YouTube, Tube Anon.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
I really appreciate it.
I'm Jen, by the way. Nice to meet you. All right, guys, I am I am desperate for some water, to be honest with you, and we've been going for a while, so I'm actually going to get off camera right now, go have some water, get John some water. There's a lot going on here. I have a feeling it will go on through tonight as well, and we will be here to cover it. Again, we're in Beverly Hills. My glasses are fogging up. We're in Beverly Hills. We were walking down Rodeo Drive and very fancy, famous roads of the wealthy with the Black Lives Matter counter-protesters. We're here right now in the midst of the Trump side. So there are these alternating sides. There were some fights early on. I don't know what will happen later. There's a ton of police everywhere. I want to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Also, you can't rely on YouTube to tell you when we're going live, so text COUP to 370-370. Text COUP to 370-370, and you'll get a text notification when we're live next time. I will say that in some cases, the protesters, counter-protesters, don't really want you to film at nighttime or go live at nighttime, so we'll play that by ear, depending on what's going on. So definitely join that text list, subscribe so you know when we're live. What else? You can become a member, statusquo.com/join. You can also support our hard work out here in the field. It's hot, guys. It's sweaty. My throat hurts. Go to statusquo.com/West Coast. Statusquo.com/West Coast, and you can support our reporting at any amounts. I love you all. I will be back. I'm going to go drink some water. Bye-bye, guys. I'll go get you some water and me some water. So just tell them, or I can tell them. They can hear me now. All right, never mind, guys. Never mind, my friends. The amazing John, who never tires, is actually noticed that we have so many people watching. He's going to stay live. I'm going to go get us both water. So you'll see kind of what's happening on the scene. Stick with us. I will be back later, but I'm going to fall on the floor if I don't get some water. So John, stick with John. I'll be back later. Alrighty. You want like soda or water?
I'll be around here, all right? Status Quo on YouTube.
Oh, am I going to see myself?
Yeah, there you can. You go on YouTube. There's any cards all everywhere. Right?
That's the thing. Come on.
The camera wants you. The camera wants you. Go. The camera wants you. Do it. One more G. Strong. We're so gallantly streaming. We love our country. We love our country. We love our country, baby. We love our country.
BLM isn't Marxist organization. They want to destroy the nuclear family. They want to bring America down. All they believe is only racism and racism alone. They want to divide, not unite. They don't want to unite. They're the party of hate. And George Biden supports them. He will not say the words law enforcement because he knows that law enforcement does not have his back. It's all about law and order in this country. If you do right, that's good. But if you do wrong, you have to pay for it. And BLM wants to get away. They want to have their cake and eat it too, and that's not how life works.
4 more years. 4 more years. Trump 2020. Trump 2020. 4 more years. That simple. If you want to live your life free, go for Trump. Joe Biden will never be president of the United States of America.
Masks are a lie. Do not comply. Only 9,200 total deaths from COVID-19 in the United States of America, folks. That's the real numbers. You can even go to the CDC website and do the math yourself if you want. And 40% of that number was old people in old age homes that were dying anyway. This is not about health. This is about elites trying to take power over us. And we will not comply. We're going to stand up against the elites. And it's a done deal. Elites go home. It's over. It's over.
I'm going to send a message.
They think people are going to let someone replace them right
What's the most
Want to live your life free. Trump 2020. 4 more years. Very simple. Wake up, America, before it's too late. Joe Biden will never be president of the United States of America. His time is come and gone. Thank you. 4 more years. Get used to it. 4 more years. Get used to it. 2022. 4 more years, boy. I mean, girl. Oh, puppy. Puppy.
Yeah, the guy in Florida. Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah, the guy from Florida. Hey, holy shit! Cuba for Trump. Cuba for Trump. You got it? That's right. Excuse me.
What's that?
What is Antifa right here? It's a little message, you know? Don't come to the suburbs. You all want to come to the suburbs? Come. We'll let you know what's up.
Were you here when they were here?
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I'm going to sit out right in front, but nothing happened, so they're only here for photo op. It's all right.
Listen, this is going to continue for 4 more years. So we're going to be here in 2024 doing the same thing, just bigger crowds.
The moment he gets elected, we're going to be down this whole aisle.
Yes, sir. Make California red again.
Thank you.
4 more years. 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 I don't get it. I don't get it. When they call him racist because he didn't pronounce the game. They call him racist. We love supporting the greatest American president America has ever created. We love Trump. 4 more years. 4 more years. Sleepy Joe just voted for Donald Trump. 4 more years. The U.S. flag just voted for Donald Trump. 4 more years. California is voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to have the greatest COVID recovery God has ever created. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. It's going to be the most amazing COVID recovery ever possible. No one has ever seen a COVID recovery like this. It's going to be massive. Joe Biden just woke up and voted for Joe Biden just voted for Donald Trump.
What's up, son, boy?
Take your mask off, moron. Now you can breathe if you take your mask off, you fucking moron. Take off your mask, you fucking moron. You're going to be able to breathe. Take off your mask. Take off your mask. Take off your mask. Look at your muscles. Rambo, your muscles. Rambo, your muscles. Bobby. Take off your mask, you motherfucker, if you can't breathe! vote for peaceful protest. A vote for
Cuba for Trump. Cuba for Trump. Cuba. Right.
Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking? Why are you shaking? Democrats are looters. Back to loot. Back the blue.
We're not here for this. They're here for us. We're not here for them. We're not here for them. They're here for us. You
This is what a peaceful protest is. Let's go support Donald Trump over here. Let's go support Donald Trump. Let's go over here and support Donald Trump. Let's go. Let's go support Donald Trump. Come on, guys. Let's go support Donald Trump.
The motherfucking
Come on. Let's go support USA. Let's go support America. Let's go support capitalism. Let's go support USA. Let's go support the grown-ups. Support BHPD. Support BHPD, the greatest police department in America. Let's support BHPD. Let's support our president. Make that vote count.
You have some officers coming back over here.
Defund the police.
Ambulance coming. I'm not sure if that's
Give the police more money.
Don't come back.
Give the police more money.
Back the blue.
Give them more money. Give the police more
Defund
money.
Antifa. Lock up Obama.
Defund the police. Defund the police.
Fuck Nancy Pelosi. Folks, can we have you go to the mass, please? Round of applause for the police. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Trump 2020, baby.
The greatest president
USA.
ever produced.
Yeah. We'll be here 4 years also, don't worry.
Let's make some noise for the greatest president. Trump 2020. Are you guys ready to make some noise for the greatest
Rhinos. Yes. Donald Trump's going to fix this.
Ask Justin, you
Those guys over there in the room. I believe the white
guy.
I don't think. Oh no, I think somebody returned it. Thank you. Oh, you can hold this for 1 second. Show baby, yeah.
We're making noise. This is one of the greatest presidents America has ever produced. Thank you. We're making noise for Donald Trump. For Trump. Live for Trump. America for Trump. Lamborghini for Trump.
Small group of Black Lives Matter protesters on the corner over here.
We've also been here for the past 3 months.
That's how many votes Biden will get. That's your sperm count. That's your IQ. It's the same. They know what they're doing. That's not your president.
Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed air support. And earlier today, we had LAPD air support right
Buying, everything. And then once they spend all of the money, they want to come back and cry. Oh, Trump is not doing anything for us. Come on, man. I want to vote for Trump. We need another 4 years so we can even get it. Matter of fact, stop this right now. We're going to get better. Because it's always room for any kind of improvement, man. Y'all voted for Trump. You feel me? And come on, man. That's it, man. Just vote for Trump. Make it win. Man, yo, they had all the people coming over here trying to fight. That already let you know that it's bogus. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. That already let you know that it's bogus. You feel me? How are you supposed to be positive, but you want to come over to us and try to fight? Who's the bigger people right there? We the bigger ones. We don't got no time for y'all, man. Y'all stay away. You see this right here? This is a whole family right here. Nothing but positive, and we're rooting for the right person. I don't even know who you rooting for. You see the kids? Look at these. Yeah. You see that? You
See, Trump, we don't eat pizza around here and eat hot dogs. You feel me? We don't do that around here. No pizza parties. Even in school, I ain't even like no pizza parties. I don't care about none of that. You know? Wicked Wish, baby. Trump. Can't wait to see you. Get better.
Yo, you trying to send a message to Trump on camera? Everyone is over there, guys. Let's go. Go.
All right, so it looks like they're gonna send a take a video, maybe send or do a live stream, maybe send it to Trump, try and get his attention. We got the Beverly Hills sign.
Wait, this isn't a message for Trump. This is scripted. They want to get fucking views. Come on, let's go. Trump, we love you. By his stripes, you've been healed. That's right.
Exactly.
Stay strong. We're with you.
We love you, Mr. President. The fervent, effectual prayers of the righteous avail much, and America is praying for you. We're going to get up stronger and better than ever.
Amen.
God bless America and God bless Trump.
Yes.
Absolutely. Women for Trump. We love you, Trump. Melania, get better. Trump, get better. We love you. Trump 2020.
Correction, hot-ass women for Trump. For another 4 years. Yes, sir. God bless you, President. First Lady. We're going to have prayers. Can we have more than
Oh, I love the president. I love you, Trump. Get better. My favorite president ever. Cute.
Trust me, President Trump. Pray for you. Be blessed. God bless you.
Hispanics for Trump. Love you, Trump.
God bless you.
We love you, Mr. Trump. We know you're going to have the greatest COVID recovery God ever created.
Yes!
Yes. 4 more years is coming. We're here for you 1,000%.
4 more years. 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 4 more years.
Hey, so we out here trying to support the president, right? Hey, what we out here for? 4 more years. 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 So we love you. Get well soon, and let's win this election, baby. Let's go.
Trump 2020. Thank you. Great job. Great job.
Hey, everybody. Hey, I want to say one more thing. One more thing.
Everybody, I just want to say something. Shiva, she's been under attack and she needs our support. And I opened the page and it's called to support Shiva to remain safe. It's a GoFundMe page. Please, if you can donate, donate. If you cannot, please share it, tweet it, so others can donate. Because we have to make sure Shiva remains safe and we have to protect her. The link is on her page. She posted it and it's on my page. My name is Aslefe Shirafkan. So, please, yeah.
Hey guys, listen up. Radio.
So I was doxxed by Perez Hilton. He libeled me and said that I claimed that Breonna Taylor deserved to die, which were not my words. You know how they do to Trump. They twist our words, and that is what's unfortunate. So what I said was, I don't give a rat's ass, and this was before I was talking about indoctrination. Because the media wants to tell us what to think and what to feel. And I don't like to be indoctrinated. I don't like someone telling me what I have to feel and think. I am my own person, and I get to think and feel the way I want to.
because we live in a free country. So I said, I don't give a rat's ass about Breonna Taylor because I'm sick and tired of them putting her on a pedestal while children are being slaughtered. Right? It's quiet.
We're going this way.
So where's your picture, everyone? Where's your celebrity funeral?
All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. All right, I don't know when we're going live next. If Jen's back. All right. All right, everyone, take care.
I'm like delirious.